meeting is
No, like to call the meeting to order. Like to remind everyone of the City of Perry staff core values: a strong work ethic, problem solving, community oriented, shows professionalism and integrity, as a team player, is accountable, and good stewardship. So can I have a roll call, please?
Shelley,
Here.
Mahler,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Schott, Klein.
Yes.
Okay, next up is approval of the meeting agenda.
Move the agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, any other discussion? Roll call?
Klein,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley,
Here. Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Okay, next up's consent agenda. It's consists of this week, the minutes of the April 15th regular meeting and the April 25th special meeting on the bike path. There were 8 payments, contract payments for a total of $108,723.50. The claims register and financials of $1,295,762.90. And we have 1 license and permit application for a liquor license for Casa de Oro restaurant, a renewal, and the city and fire inspections police and fire inspections have been completed. So I have a motion.
I make a motion that we pass the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Walling,
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Shelley,
yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, city administrators report.
All right, got a couple things. Just wanted to go over some Tyson updates and activities going on with the Perry Next group, which is the group formed with all of our different partners to help respond to the news of Tyson closing. We did have a call with corporate last week and got some good answers. There had been a rumor mill going that they would be closing the plant in mid-May. So few discussions confirmed that that is not the plan and that they're still planning on the end of June. So we're able to get that rumor taken care of. And I believe they put out some information at the plant for the employees as well. Couple of things coming up. On May 16th, there's going to be a job fair at the National Guard Armory from noon to 5. And this one is a larger job fair with more employers, kind of casting a little bit wider net regionally, again, hoping to place people in some jobs that they could still stay in Perry, live in Perry, but maybe get to another job until we can have jobs back here to fill those positions. And then I did also pass out a press release on the panel discussion. Just kind of an overview of everything going on. And so that will be Wednesday, May 22nd at 5:30 at La Poste. So that media release has some more information on kind of what would be covered at that. And then just kind of an outline of some of the speakers and representatives that will be there to just discuss some of the important matters at hand around pork industry and things that we've been working on as a group. So then Wednesday morning, I am going on the Greater Des Moines Partnership Washington, D.C. trip. I think I went 2 years ago. So this year turned out to be a good thing. I registered early and we have quite a few meetings set up with our congressional delegation in Washington just to discuss things going on in Perry and ways that those elected officials can help us out. So it's kind of the big ones, but does anybody have questions for me? I think we'll probably get to a lot of the project updates on the agenda with pay requests, but I think all those seem to be doing well as long as we dodge rain. So, all right.
Okay, thanks, Finn. Okay, next up, we're going to swear in a new Perry police officer. So Officer Lurch, if you could step forward to the microphone, please. Do I stand up there?
Yeah.
We'll share. To repeat after me, I, Boyd Lee, do solemnly swear or affirm
I, Alan Lurch, do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of Perry Police Department in Perry, Iowa.
discharge all the duties of the office of the
Police Department.
Perry Police Department in Perry, Iowa,
As now or hereafter required by
as now or hereafter required by law.
Well, the force of faith. Want to say the devil or? Some guys like the microphone.
You guys know.
Welcome to the table. Karaoke. Okay, yeah, Sven covered most all the Tyson updates. There is a lot of construction going on out there, so if you haven't been by some of the sites, please go. Moving a lot of dirt when it's not too muddy to move it, but so all of them are moving along nicely, so. Any questions or any of the council members have any comments they would like to make?
Things are looking good.
Joe? Okay. Then we'll move on. So next is open forum. Speakers will be asked to step to the microphone, state their name and address for the record, and then you'll be given 3 minutes to address the council. So please.
Hello. Okay. I don't know if this is turned on. You can
Yes.
still hear me? Okay. And I'll, bear with me. It's been 40-some years since I've spoken in front of a crowd and that was 300 people. I'm up here to complain or to bring to attention.
Name and address.
Oh, yes, thank you. Steve Carrick, 811 West Fifth Street, as some of you probably already know. This is an issue that's been ongoing since I moved back and bought my house in Perry in 2019. I live on Westwell. I already said that. It's right, for those that don't know, it's right across from the band shell parking lot and that north and south strip parking lot by the old pool. I've talked to the former mayor, which he was good enough to get the radar flashing sign down there, which got people to speed up faster, see how fast they can go. I've talked to the police multiple times. I've called the police multiple times. The issue is speeders. I'm asking, I'd hope the city would look at either putting removable speed bumps in, and it happens on West Third. I can look at I sit in my garage and look over to West Third. You can see people just racing up and down. And there's some police officers too. I've seen them. In fact, I've had a police officer, when he stopped to talk to me, said he would talk to one because somebody just sped right by, obviously going over 15 miles an hour. If you can't put in removable speed bumps so they can be removed in the winter time, it's still gonna have speeders, but at least it'll slow down in the summertime when kids are at the park playing. Or along that street, there's kids playing, but no one seems to care. I complained, I called up last year, I think I talked to Sven Peterson and complained and it got kind of heated. I said, if things don't be under control, I'm gonna put up a big sign that's gonna say, slow that. Guess what the word is, down. And then he said, well, you can't do that because it's against the law. It's like, that's a First Amendment issue. I'm not telling anybody to perform the act. When I did talk to Sven, the next day, he had a police officer right across the street from me, pulled up all the way to the street. I don't know if it's trying to intimidate me or what, but I asked, what are you doing? It's like, running radar. I'm like, okay, great. What about that truck that just went by flying? Well, he was only going 8 miles an hour over. Well, you're by a park. It's 15 miles an hour. Someone's going to die at 8 miles an hour getting hit by a car as they are 2 miles an hour over the speed limit. I talked to the assistant chief the other day, and he said, when I told him that anecdote, he's like, well, people will be upset if we start writing tickets at 8 miles an hour. Too bad. You know, what's better, people upset or a child getting hit by a car? and city getting sued by it, because if it does happen, I will inform them parents, I brought it up for years and nothing's ever done about it. If you don't want to put in a removable speed bump, maybe a hump. I've seen those in Des Moines on side residential streets that if you fly, you're gonna do a Dukes of Hazzard. You know, so people are slowing down. Again, it's all, when I wrote a letter 2 years, email 2 years ago, I'm getting close to my time. 2 years ago, I wrote an email to the head of the Little League asking, hey, can you mention the parents slowing down? And he's, yeah, sure. But it's also the dog park people. It is, but it increases exponentially, or whatever the word is, when during Little League season. People drive nice and slow by the softball parks down there because they're right next to the road. But, man, something should be done before, like I said, the kid gets hit. It's going on since time memorial. All right,
Okay,
thanks.
thank you for bringing that up. Okay. Any other discussion on that issue, council? Okay. Any other open forum? Okay, we'll move on to old business. So the first item A is a resolution approving the formal submission of an application to the FAA for eligible funds for the acquisition to acquire snowplow equipment, carrier, vehicle, and attachments. So we approved purchasing this equipment at the last meeting. Now we have to get approval to receive the money and get the grant from the FAA to pay 90%. So our share is going to be $41,700. And so I would need a motion for that.
I make a motion, we pass a resolution approving the formal submission of an application to the FAA for eligible funds from the Acquire Snow Removal Equipment, Carrier Vehicle and Attachments Project.
I'll second that.
Okay, other discussion?
Garrett Jacobs with Bolton and Mink. Yep, so this project is the first in line of what is the bipartisan infrastructure law funding that was provided starting in 2022. Accumulation of funds from 22, 23, and 24. The funds for that source go from 22 to 26. So just like your regular entitlement grants, smaller, roughly about 150,000 every year. It does vary, but like I said, this is the first of what we intend to use it for based on the CIP. After this, we'll submit the grant application. Because you've already have this funding source, this money in your account, you may see a grant agreement come through earlier. So Sven, it should probably come to you first. After it goes to you, it will go to your attorney. And are you correct? So watch your spam folders, because they do end up there sometimes. And I think it's been a year, so I'm pretty sure either Matt or I or Silas will probably get copied on it, but if we see it, we will let you know. They are on a timeline that you only have, it used to be 10 days, but I believe now it's around 16. But you need to get it signed in that time span to make sure this cycle doesn't to make sure it doesn't become null and void. But yeah, after we get the grant agreement, submit, we'll do a contract with Van Wall, the low bidder, and move on from there. So it's good. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mahler,
Yes.
Waller,
Yes.
Shelley,
yes,
Klein. Yes.
Okay, item B, approval of pay application number 14 for the runway 1423 relocation phase 2. It's for $47,552.44 to Manats Inc. And Bolton and Mink has recommended that we approve this after reviewing it. So could I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the pay application number 14 for the runway 1432 relocation phase 2.
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion.
So phase 2 is the initial 4,000 feet of the runway, paving and lighting. This pay application really just covers the preparation of where we had to stop paving last year and the existing runway pavement. They got that area stripped, excavated, fill brought in, put down separation fabric, rock, got it cement treated. It's ready to go for paving as soon as Manats gets back on site.
Other discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I have a question, please.
Yep.
Dirk, I'd like to go back to the gentleman in the speeding cars. Is he still there?
We got a motion first, Joseph. We'll finish that and then we'll take your question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call?
Klein,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Moller.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Joseph.
The question, where was this speeding at? You say was the ballpark?
West Third Street next to the park. Or West Fifth,
Third
Yeah.
Street.
West Fifth and West Third. So,
And what was his actions? He said he had called and talked to, and he went down. I didn't get the whole gist of his complaint, his level of complaint. Where is he at with that?
he hasn't been satisfied, and so I can give you all the details of what he has done. I'll call you when we're done here and fill you in all the details, but he's tried numerous times to get people to stop, and it hasn't happened yet, so.
Okay, I appreciate it. I thank you.
No problem. Okay, on to item C, approval of pay application number 10 for the runway 1432 relocation phase 3. This is for $719,603.85 to Manats Inc. And again, it has been signed off by the project management. So can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we pass, we approve pay application number 10 for runway 1432 relocation phase 3.
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion?
So phase 3 is the 1,500-foot extension. Went told one of the subcontractors was able to get in, do a lot of the grading work toward the tail end of last year, get the runway pavement section, the dirt ready. Got another subcontractor out to start cement treatment, put down separation fabric, rock, have the subdrain in, have the storm sewer in. There's still additional grading that needs to happen on the outside, but that alleviates the conflict in between Manats paving and them finishing their work. The downside right now with the rain is, working on what would be the pavement area is great because we cement treated and there's rock down. The issue is getting to the site. So once everything dries out, see a little bit more action, but things are going well. They're working on getting their plant back here, so we're expecting that they pave hopefully sometime coming up here, beginning of June, mid-June, hopefully the latest. Things are going well though. We've been pleased. So.
Is the wetland area causing any problems or is it causing settling?
No, so we've had enough time now that the initial settlement, the consolidation is essentially taken care of itself because we placed nearly 20 feet of fill right over the top of the major area of the wetland. So not a whole lot. It did eat up more fill than we anticipated, just because it's so soft. But they farmed the areas outside. It worked out pretty good.
Is there a tile across that area?
So we did find a 12-inch tile, which led us to believe that the wetland that was out there was likely man-made. Because the tile, that outlet was submerged and it was feeding that whole area. So one of the previous change orders was rerouting that 12-inch tile and taking it to an area where we were not mitigating the wetland. So it's essentially all pushing itself out now. The area where they cross to get from the staging site to the project site is one of the low spots. And so that's kind of what makes it difficult to get out there and do a lot of stuff right now. So. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, roll call.
Walling,
Yes.
Moller.
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, item D, approval of pay application number 2 for the Frog Creek restoration. So this is for $54,607.73 to Iowa Earthworks. For about half the work on the north side of Harold Bailey Way, and it has been reviewed and recommended for approval. Can I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve pay application number 2 for Frog Creek restoration.
And I'll second that.
Awesome. So this is for the north side of Harold Bailey Way. They've wrapped up about all the stone toe and the riprap. They were waiting until water levels kind of subside a little bit to get that cross vein structure in there, which is kind of the control measure. So it's going well. They've got everything graded. They're just kind of holding off for the rain to get in there and better access. So things are going well on that end. once they get that wrapped up, we're gonna jump to the south side and work in the next two phases.
It's looking good.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Swam.
Yes.
Okay, item E, approval of pay application number 1 for the Iowa Street Stormwater Wetland. It's for the amount of $19,176.39 to Sandstone Management LTC. The work that's being done out by the Super 8 Hotel, and it has been reviewed and recommended for approval. So could I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve pay application number 1 for Iowa Street Stormwater Wetland.
I'll second.
I'll second.
We'll have 2 seconds.
Discussion?
Awesome. So you'll notice that there hasn't been a lot going on out there with the weather. They did get all the clearing and grubbing done, so that's the majority of what this payment's for, as well as strip and black dirt. They put in all their sediment and erosion control measures just to stabilize the site. That was one concern Super 8 had, so we met with them, kind of established what we had out there to prevent some of that runoff stability. We got the area out at the airport marked out for taking all the excess material. We did run into the water levels and stuff like that, so we're working on mitigations to keep them moving when the rain events do occur, because it's going to be a common factor. So we're working through that, and we'll have a progress meeting Wednesday to get more details.
Discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Swam.
Yes.
Okay, item F, approval of pay application number 02, digester blower replacement wastewater treatment facility emergency repair. This was for replacing a piece of equipment that had failed on an emergency basis. It's for the amount of $23,223.23 to Woodruff Construction. Repair has been made and materials have been stored, and all documents reviewed and signed off. Could I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, we approve pay application number 02, digester blower replacement wastewater treatment facility emergency repair.
I'll second.
Yeah, this was for probably before the project started, one of the blowers went out, so we had to, it wasn't included in the project. So this was an emergency repair. This is paying back that retainage from Woodruff installing everything. So next council meeting, you'll have a pay request from Bolton and Mink for, it'll be about 96.2%, I think, of the project completed. So that'll be a larger pay request, but this is just the retainage payment. So.
No. This leaves retainage.
Leaves, yes, leaves the
retainage.
retainage. I'm sorry. Yes. So
You'll see the retainage.
you'll see the retainage on the sheet. Yes. Other than that, that's it.
Yours, J Dot. I thought I typed it wrong.
No, you typed it right.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Okay.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Okay, new business. Resolution making council appointments to the Friends of the Hotel Patty Board of Directors. So Friends of the Hotel Patty is the nonprofit organization that's going to run the hotel that the city now owns. Jeremy had volunteered to be on that committee as along with myself. And so this is to officially appoint us to the 2 seats we have on that board. So could I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass a resolution making up council appointments to the Friends of Hotel Patty Board of Directors for Jeremy and Dirk.
I'll second.
I'll second.
We'll third.
Other discussion?
And so Friends of the Hotel, I think you said run or manage the hotel, but it's kind of the supporting organization to help fundraise and offset costs for updates and other things to the hotel.
It's a 501c3.
Yep. Okay. Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Okay, the next few items are annual updates to renew the insurances that the employees have First one is a resolution approving the insurance administration contracts and renewing the Blue Choice insurance plan with Wellmark Iowa Governmental Healthcare Plan for the City of Perry employees. It's the same one we have this year. The plan is going to go up by 3.55%. But they've looked at others and this is still the best deal out there for us. So it's recommended that we approve this plan. So can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, we pass a resolution approving the insurance administration contract and renewing the Blue Choice Insurance Plan with Wellmark Iowa Governmental Healthcare Plan for City of Perry employees.
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion?
So all of these insurance renewals, are what are reflected in the budget, but, 3.55% increase is better than we've seen the last couple of years, so we're pretty okay with that. There is another product out there that Skip Low with, North Risk Partners they're still looking at, but, just a couple of things to figure out before we can look at doing that, but basically all the same insurance for all of those, and employees seem to be happy with insurance, so it's important.
So 3.55, that's not a lot, but didn't Skip say last year because of the big increase last year that there was a potential for a decrease this year in that? Wasn't that part of the spiel?
May have said that. I think I've yet to see a decrease, but I think a decrease is less than,
Sure.
less than the increases we have been.
I was trying to
seeing, so.
remember. I thought maybe he said there was a
And the
potential for that.
alternative source,
Yeah.
we're still not sure.
Yeah, so that one, kind of the hang up is we have some retirees that are on our health insurance plan, and that different health insurance product does not yet have a way figured out to
Transition.
provide coverage for retirees. So we'll just have to try and figure out some way to cover the retirees that are on our plan with that new plan.
How
So
long do our retirees stay on our plan?
I'm not sure. I think it kind of depends on the person and just kind of what they want to do, but
And isn't it part of state code that we have to have that?
have to offer it.
Yes.
Yeah.
For a period of time or forever?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that part of the state code.
I was gonna say, because private employers give
I
you a
think-
window.
yeah, I think it is a period of time. It's not forever. I'm confident that's a period of time.
I would assume it's probably an age cutoff, something like that,
I don't know.
but
Since they hit Medicare.
Yeah.
Okay. Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Walling.
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes,
Klein.
Yes,
Okay, item C, resolution approving the group dental and vision insurance renewal for with principal life insurance for City of Perry employees. This is one that the vision does not go up and we actually get a 9.92, or the dental does not go up and the vision goes down by 9.92%. So, and this would be good from July 1st of 2024 to June 30th of 2025. Can I have a motion, please?
make a motion to approve resolution approving the group dental and vision insurance renewal with Principal Life Insurance for the City of Perry employees.
and I will second that.
Okay. Discussion.
kind of the same thing, same plans that we've had, so it's fun to see a decrease in that one.
Yes. That's good.
Susie did want me to point out, with the supporting documents that went out, it did show an increase, but
Yeah.
Skip went back and renegotiated some more and was able to get them to be status quo. So
Okay.
that's why there's a little discrepancy there.
was gonna
They just
ask
didn't
about that.
reprint that piece. Yeah.
I think we had a different company quote it and it came in more competitive than Delta. But not the other, so Skip was able to go back and show them the other quote and then they matched it, so. That's why we have Skip.
That's why you have him.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Waller.
Yes.
Okay. Item D, resolution approving renewal of the Hartford Insurance Group policy, group term life and long-term disability benefits for the city of Perry employees. Set to expire on June 30th. It's going to be Northwest Partners wants to provide the city with the best insurance, and most economical prices. And so this will be no cost increase, and it'll renew from July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. So motion, please.
I make a motion, we approve renewal of the Hartford insurance policy for group term life and long-term disability benefits for the city of Perry employees.
And I'll second that.
Discussion.
Same as our current year's coverage, so no increase.
Good. Like it.
Roll call, please.
Mahler,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, item E, resolution authorizing the destruction of specific documents for the police department. We store a lot of documents, as you all know. Some of them have to be stored forever. Some of them don't. And so this is allowing us to get rid of some that don't need to be stored and free up some space. Some of them are copies of other things that we do keep the original copy, but not the other ones. So, and I think the regulations were detailed in the packet. So if you needed more detail, you should have looked at that. So can I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass a resolution authorizing the destruction of specified documents for the PD.
I'll second.
Discussion?
I think we have to have a shredding company come in just for Eric to clean off his desk.
Yeah. When it's in town, let me know. I got a bunch.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Okay, item F, resolution setting the date for the public hearing on proposal to enter into general obligation loan agreements and to borrow money thereunder. So this meeting would be set for May 20th, 2024, right here in this room at 6 o'clock. So during our next regular scheduled board meeting, we are going to borrow not to exceed $1,535,000. And it's basically going to pay for the cost of the paving projects we're doing now over the next few years when the money comes in for those costs. So could I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass a resolution setting the date for a public hearing on the proposal to enter into a general obligation loan agreement and to borrow money thereon.
I'll second.
So like the mayor mentioned, this is the loan for the overlay project. So we do this every 4 years. So this one might actually, they're gonna be doing a scenario with it over 4 years and a scenario over 5 years. Just this project cost a little bit more, trying to keep up with prices. So just kind of weighing those two options.
How does this affect our loan ratios? Is it put us higher than we want to be, or are we still in line?
We're actually sitting pretty low as far as our debt capacity is concerned. And this is all paid for with local option sales tax and road use tax. So it doesn't affect our levy at all. But we have
But we
quite a
have
bit of
good debt
cushion.
ratio.
Yep.
Good.
Okay, another discussion? Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, item G is the resolution setting a public hearing for fiscal year 2024 budget amendment. It's going to be the same night, May 20th at 6 o'clock here at our next meeting. And this is basically to move funds around where we overspent or underspent on our existing budget to put it within the state guidelines And so it will be up for public comment and then we'll approve it after that at one of the following meetings before the end of the year. So can I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass resolution setting a public hearing for fiscal year 2024 budget amendment.
Second.
Kind of an every year thing, but just balancing all of our line items and things for end of year.
Roll call, please.
Mahler,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Waller.
Yes. Seems that we're doing this a little earlier than usual. Or not.
It's about,
So it's almost always the first meeting in May.
it's already May.
I know it
2 months
is.
left of the year.
I know. Mayday, mayday.
Then we got 2 meetings to approve it in June and then New Year. So, yep. Okay, item H, resolution authorizing changes to street lighting. So at our, one of our bike paths to the connector trail, it went along Third Street and we have asked Alliant to move 2 lights from one side of the street to the other so the poles are not in the way and we can widen the sidewalk and be safer for the bikers. So could I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass a resolution authorizing changes to the street lighting.
And I'll second.
Discussion?
So with the bike trail going down that west side of Fairway, there's 2 light poles between Willis and Otley there. There's already poles across the street. So we're just asking them to retire those 2 poles and move the lights across the street. So there's no poles, no obstacle that could possibly get ran into. It'll give us a little bit more room so we don't have to go around them stuff. So basically that's the gist of the resolution.
The poles are already on the west side of the street.
There's wooden poles over there already, so they can just move the street lights. All that's on them is street lights, so they can just move that across the street. So.
And they'll put in LED lights there, right?
I would assume so. That's what they're putting in with everything. So
Yeah.
he said they had to order different brackets or something like
Okay.
that. So
Those few that we've had replaced come out a little brighter when they're done.
absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, item I is resolution of support for increasing board membership to the Dallas County Board of Supervisors. So the mayors of Dallas County, we have met and currently there are 3 Dallas County commissioners and we would like to raise that to 5 because our population is rapidly growing. And so now there are areas of the county that seem to be underrepresented and each of these supervisors has more constituents than say our state government people. So we think 5-person board in a ward type of a situation gives each part of the county a different say. So the populated parts can have somebody authorizing or talking for them and we could get somebody representing the more rural areas also. So basically we're asking the board supervisors to agree to put it on the ballot. If they do not, we can request and get signatures. If we collect over 4,000 and some signatures, then it'll go on that way. Also, so this is to recommend if they don't do it on their own, that we start setting up and getting signatures, maybe at the farmer's market and those things to get the 4,000 signatures we need. And the other mayors will be doing their part to do that too. So we just need. So can I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass a resolution of support for increasing the board membership of the Dallas County Board of Supervisors.
I'll second.
Yeah, this was, Perry was one of the ones that did it in 2016, made the recommendation and the board didn't act on it. And the mayors decided not to get petitions out to force it to happen. And so 8 years hence and a large population increase, we feel it's time to do it now. So Sven, you might have a little more details from historical
Yeah, it
standpoint.
seems like the 3 supervisors, they can't possibly cover the population that we have in the county these days.
Yeah, so that's grown significantly over the years and even like 30,000 in since the last census in 2010. So definitely a lot of conversation around just trying to make sure that the population has adequate representation and that the supervisors are able to get out and cover a more realistic area. So like Mayor mentioned, it's been a conversation for a while. And I think 2016, a resolution was passed. So I think there's a little bit more oomph behind it now that we're above 100,000 residents in Dallas County and still growing strong. So another effort to put forth on that.
Sounds good. And you're kind of forcing their hand with the petition.
Yeah, we're threading that. So we're hopeful that we don't have to do that because it's going to be a lot of work, but,
Yeah.
and
That-
kind of a tight deadline because that has to be in August sometime, I think, to be on the ballot. And again, it's, what was it, 10% of the registered voters in the county in the last gubernatorial election. So it was 44,100 and some. So we'd probably need to get 5,000 just to make sure they're all.
And I know this has been a big item for years, being that there's only been 3 and they can't leave office because there's supposed to be somebody there, so they can't get out to the area too. And then some of them don't come in only on board day.
Yeah.
So it does make a problem down there.
Yep.
So this would alleviate that,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Wally,
Yes.
Smaller,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes,
Klein.
Yes,
Okay, item J, resolution setting public hearings on proposed zoning amendments to chapter 165 zoning regulations and chapter 167 planned unit development PUD of the Code of Ordinances. So this will happen again, next meeting, May 20th, 6 p.m. right up here. And after the motion, I'll let Sven get more detail on what we're proposing to be changed. So could I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass a resolution setting public hearing on proposed zoning amendments to chapter 165 zoning regulations and chapter 167 planned unit development, PUD of the Code of Ordinances.
I will
and I
second.
will second.
All right, so the Planning and Zoning Commission and I have been talking through some of these proposed changes for a while. Kind of looking at other communities, seeing what they do. So with the chapter 167 plan unit development, right now the code has a minimum lot size of 5 acres. And we've run into a couple of times where we have a lot that's 4.75 acres, or something like that, or a lot big enough that it could support development with a PUD. So looking at that, you know, other communities are kind of all across the board of how they say it, but the language that's being proposed is more vague and just lays it out that the lot has to be large enough to support adequate public right of way and infrastructure, which I think is a good way of just kind of leaving that a little bit more open. And again, they have to put together a master plan that is treated like a zoning amendment. So it has to go through planning, zoning, and city council. So there's quite a bit of due diligence in that process that staff reviews it, engineering reviews it, so that it meets some of our minimum standards looking at development. So opening the door a little bit on that, making things a little bit easier to get some of these kind of smaller parcels developed. Then with chapter 165 zoning regulations, first is for residential duplex zoning, taking the minimum lot width from 75 feet to 60 feet, which is a little bit closer to some of those original parts of town at 50 feet. And again, just looking at other communities, kind of taking a bit of a survey 60 feet seem to be kind of the going trend with minimum lot widths. With that, residential single family would stay at 75 feet. And then kind of paired with that residential duplex conversation, adding some language into the residential duplex section that would allow a duplex to be split down the middle, and have two separate ownerships. So hopefully, enabling a little bit lower price point to be able to share a wall and have residents be a little bit more affordable. And in that, there's rules and regulations that duplex would have to have the same finishes and things like that. So that's been something that's come up as an issue in the building process. Alliant Energy treats some of those a little bit different. I think Councilperson Walling can walk us through that, but so that makes it a little bit easier for builders coming in and building duplexes to be able to do so. So looking at
And less
that,
expensively.
yes, I know there's
Significantly.
quite a cost difference in that. And then the last part with that zoning ordinance is adding a residential townhome district, which is something we don't have, but again, kind of that in-between area between residential duplex and multifamily, but allowing that townhome to be split down the wall for individual ownership if the builder owner would like to do that. So I think that's more popular in some of the suburban communities, but just want to make sure our zoning code allows the flexibility, especially looking at affordability and trying to get some first-time home buyers.
So I can
But-
split mine.
You could, if passed, you could. So again, this is just setting setting the public hearing for that. So we can talk more in depth. If anybody has questions, just give me a shout.
Any other questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Mahler,
Yes.
Wally,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes,
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, being no further business, we'll adjourn.
motion to adjourn. Hey, Mr. Mayor, I